Let's try again. Oh, there's nothing to try. It fixed itself. Nothing to try. I mean, to be fair, it hadn't been restarted in, like, I don't know how long. Probably a few weeks. Computers like to tweak out when you don't restart them for, like, a while. I was gonna say, I haven't, like, done any major changes to this at all. I haven't done any technical stuff. I mean, Steam Deck's pretty much, no pun intended, like, decked out. I don't really do any heavy modding right now. This needed to be restarted. I've had that happen before. Games don't boot. It's having its time of the month. I mean, Steam Deck is pretty, it's pretty stable. SteamOS is pretty stable, but it does have, like, times of the month like that sometimes. This game does take, like, an abnormal amount of time to load for how low power it is, but I kind of noticed something was up. It wasn't wanting to load Streets of Rage X either, which is not even a Steam game. That's, you know, completely independent of Steam. Usual, turn it off and turn it on again. It's a pretty good time to upgrade computers right now, because, I think on Steam, like, the most popular, graphics card is the 3070, which is what I had in mind prior to my upgrade. I just upgraded because I knew that 8 gigs of VRAM is not going to be enough for me to play current games, like, very soon. Wukong comes out in, like, 24 hours, so I think a little less than a day. That game is probably going to be a disaster, performance-wise. I wasn't really interested in the game in the first place, but the benchmark results were a little bit less than I was expecting for a computer like mine. The game kind of looks like all graphics, no substance. During the gameplay is like average at best. It's not a Souls game, but it's also like not as good as like a Team Ninja Souls-like. So I wasn't interested personally. Well, people are like really people are really excited for that game for some reason. It doesn't really seem like anything special. Seems like a lot of games I grew up with. Like the graphics. The graphics are like the main selling point. The gameplay is like not that great. Yeah, 4 gigs of VRAM is not going to cut it unless you're playing stuff like this exclusively. I mean, which isn't a bad thing. These games are a lot better than a lot of the big graphics-hungry stuff, in my opinion. But, yeah, if you want to play anything 3D in this year, you're kind of going to have to get a better card. I had a 1050 Ti like 10 years ago. It's a good card. Well, Capcom's pretty good with they're pretty good with optimization. That's a pretty safe bet. Even though the requirements are gonna take a pretty big hike because it's not gonna be on last gen consoles. You should be fine though. Shouldn't be too hard to achieve 60 FPS. Might have to turn some things down or like the resolution or something. Oh, cool. What's this do again? What a respec. Huh. Let's see, what are the rolls on this exactly? They crap rolls. Yeah, pretty shit rolls. Yeah, I probably wouldn't bother actually using this piece. You gotta be careful about used cards though, because a lot of them are used for crypto mining, so they're pretty fucked. You gotta be really careful. Although for like 10 series cards, the chances of that are really unlikely. But still, it's definitely something you gotta think about. It's mostly like 20 series and up. A lot of like the 30 and 40 series that are like dirt cheap. They're like that for a reason. They were put through extreme load, like far more than an actual like hardcore gamer like me would put a graphics card through. They're getting put through like years of load in a very short period of time to mine crypto. That's generally why they're cheap. They try to just get a couple more bucks out of them, I guess. Although that whole thing is kind of dying down, which is why graphics cards aren't so hard to find anymore. Graphic design business is different from crypto mining. That's nowhere near the demand. Rendering a video and stuff is nowhere near as intensive as crypto mining. That's putting your computer through the ringer, or the graphics card for the most part. neighbor's calling. What does he want now? Hello? Yeah, I'm good. I fed the cats a while ago. I'm gonna feed Archie, and I just gotta put some dry food out. I got a can of shreds for him, so I'll feed him in a bit. Yeah, everyone's fine. I'm just playing some games before I go, but I'll put some dry food, and I'll put him in your room, and I'll give him some food. Yeah, that's what I do when you're not here, and he eats, and I just shoo the other cats away. He eats. I know, I won't do that. I leave it open, and he gets out on his own. All right, cool. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Oh, just a reminder. I have some pizza on the bottom of the shelf. Be careful when you open the... Well, actually, I'll probably be done with it before you get back, because I'll put it on the second shelf instead. Because I got two pizzas today. Remember? Yes, be careful when you open it, but I should have it fixed before you get back. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Okay, bye. You guys heard a little bit of how escalated Scott can get last night, but he's a good guy. He really cares about the cats. He was calling to check on the cats. Scott's just a product of the stuff that's happened in his family. I don't really want to go into detail, but he's a good guy. But taking care of people like that all the time can be very exhausting. So it's partially why I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. I'm kind of cool with it though, because I'm going to be going in really hard on Gundam Breaker 4. I think having another week and a half of just playing random stuff is probably better for me anyway. But I actually have a little bit of a time limit as well, because I don't know how well it's going to run on Steam Deck. It might run like shit on Steam Deck. It might be perfect. I won't know until it comes out. But I am going to be going on that vacation the first week of September. So I gotta try to get as much as I can out before then. So we're probably looking at least 5-6 hours a day. Going in hard. It's a terrible, terrible roll compared to this one. That one's like pretty much best in slot. This one is also really good. I just need to roll attack speed on it. Oh, I wouldn't worry about if it being used for graphic design. That's not intensive. Even if it was used for like video editing, that's not bad. I definitely would not take anything from anybody that they admitted was used for crypto mining, though, because those things are just unreliable. They're put through heavy load like 24/7. Like way more than any kind of video game would cause. Or even content creation stuff like video editing, graphic design. It's nowhere near as hard. Yeah, a lot of the ones that are on eBay for like suspiciously low prices are ones that were used in like mining farms. I don't know, you can't really say that they won't work at all. It's not like they're it's a complete scam. It's just, you have to be really careful. You're still spending a large amount of money on it. Even if it's less money. I wouldn't depend on those long term. I mean, if you got one for free, I guess it wouldn't be as bad, but if those even get shipped out at all, they're probably ones that have been completely destroyed from crypto mining. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now just because crypto, of course, was not as lucrative as people thought, so people are trying to get out of it. But they're basically scams because those things could fail at any time depending on how heavily they were used. A lot of them actually are real cards, it's just, you know, same thing as like putting your fan or you know, air conditioner on like max like all the time versus somebody that only uses it like every now and then. Same kind of concept. It might be fine, but unless you're made of money, you might not want to take a risk on something like that. The people who live here have their air conditioner on max like every day. I'm surprised it works. Like, leaving your computer on every day is not, all day, is actually not bad. It's not a bad thing. That was always kind of something that people passed around It's not bad to leave it on all the time. Leaving it at, like, max load is not good, which is why there's a lot of stories about people buying those former crypto mining cards and they just kind of give out randomly. There's a big difference. The average person, no matter how hardcore you are into gaming, is not playing a game at max load like 24/7. It's like not possible to do that. You can't play a game that long every day, you know. It's not something that is possible. But that's kind of how those cards are. Oh wow, that's a really good gloves. Got a like max roll on it. Alright, time to get wombo comboed by this boss. Despite playing really well and making the right decisions at this point, none of it's going to matter. Because this guy's going to do his Just Evo quality zoning and make it so that I can't play the game. It's gonna happen. Don't get attached. Don't get attached to this game. It's like watching a world record attempt stream. Don't get attached. All I did was just postpone the inevitable. There's actually a feedback thread in their Discord about how unfair this boss is. Alright, what do you got this time, bud? Oh my god. The run. Wow. He actually was cooperative today. He only did it like twice. And he did it at distances where I actually had a chance to recover out of hit stun. If he does it right next to you, pretty high chance your run is just dead. 'Cause it's not a fair boss. Alright, well. Next boss can be kind of annoying because sometimes he doesn't really give you an opportunity to play the game either, but his attacks aren't anywhere near as unfair. Alright, so I'm gonna level up on my actives as much as I can. I think that's probably the best thing to do. I don't need any more artifacts. So for those of you who watch me play this is the farthest I've been on stream. I've beaten the game before, I just haven't beaten it on this difficulty. Alright. Next up is the chapel, or whatever it's called. Temple. Same difference. This is also Wombo Combo City, though. Get locked in hit stun really easily, so I'm hoping things will die quick. Try to get through this with at least a couple pots. Give myself a buffer. Yeah, glad I got those ruby keys. Those are really going to help with recovering pots, because the hit stun problems in this game are not solely a problem on bosses. I want people to understand that. It's not solely the bosses. The basic enemies can also put you in hit stun for a long time. So, next boss, he has a pretty decent pattern. He doesn't do as many random bullshit go patterns like the other bosses, but I have some bad habits I gotta unlearn on that boss. There's an attack he does where it looks like you should be safe behind him, but the hitbox is actually, it extends behind his sprite. So you gotta be careful. Hopefully I can get past him. If I get past this next boss, I'll be happy, because I'll get another power level. I should actually, I've got like a lot of burst damage right now, and also the lightning dash is not invincible, but it does let you clear distance pretty quick. The only thing that has invincibility in this game is your dash. There's no other iframe moves. Get hit by that. Oh good, got another pot. Alright. Got a pretty fair shot at this boss. Classic time waster flying enemy. Get down here, bozo. Come on. Somehow he didn't get killed by all that splash damage. Come on, dude. You know, if you're gonna make your combat grounded and you're not gonna let me attack while jumping, you should not have enemies like this. I'm sorry. You know, grounded combat is fine. Not everything needs to be an air combo fest. But, if you're gonna make it grounded, don't have so many flying enemies that teleport. The character does not have any options for that. That's where I draw the line. Don't need everything to be, you know, like Assault Spy, crazy air combos and stuff. But, you know, if I can't even interact with them, because they're off doing fighting game zoning, I don't really agree with that. Alright, let's see if I can get past this boss. I'm kind of rusty because I've fought this boss the least. Let's see what happens. Great start. I hate that attack. Yep, that attack. You can't... That hits behind him. There's that bad habit again. Well, that was a pretty good build. This build actually does work pretty well. That hitbox is really unfair, because if you're on the side, the best thing to do is to try to jump behind him, but if you jump behind him, he has a hitbox behind his sprite. Well, part of that was my fault, but I definitely don't like how he can hit you behind him. Alright, well, let's make some rolls on this. Give me attack speed, game. I've been screwed over enough. You're just not going to give me attack speed, are you? It's like the last thing I need to finish this build. This won't give it to me. Come on. Really? Not even a crap roll of attack speed, just none. Alright, let's get rid of some of these. Just have crap rolls on them. They don't need to be kept. At least I know what to go for. I'll definitely watch the VOD back, and I'll just gonna try to get that build every time, because the thing about that boss is he doesn't really have a lot of downtime. He keeps moving, so hard to find burst windows. Let's see, what in here is a crap roll? Oh, that's terrible. So is that. Oh, this one's got garbage on it as well. That's not worth keeping. Terrible rolls. What time is it? Oh, I got a little bit more time. Okay, what of these is worth keeping? That one's worth keeping. That one's decent. Very good belt. Oh, max roll attack speed. That's definitely worth keeping. Alright, I don't feel like doing another run. Let's play something else. I feel worse because that was mostly my fault that I lost. Probably like a 75-25 split between that being my fault and the game screwing me over. So, I'm salty. Let's play something else. Something that's not going to make me chrono triggered. What do we got here? I've actually had a pretty shitty day. Well, a very polarizing day, I guess would be the better word. So, I'm not really wanting to be pissed off at video games right now. Lose or run, just switch games. That's the way to do it. think a lot of people could benefit from that philosophy. Especially people that play team-based games. If you're getting triggered, just log off. The run probably was going to die anyway, because the boss after that he can also, the next two bosses after that can also put you in wombo combos forever. can't escape from the dragon is dead. It's done. When I try to get away from it, and Ash just deleted my whole health bar. There's no escape from Dragon is Dead, man. I try to stop the addiction. I just get the same thing happens in a different game. What the hell was that? That was totally a Dragon is Dead situation right there. Just getting locked in, hit stun to death. Run ends very abruptly. That was great. So I was looking at Rain Addis gameplay. I watched a bit of the tutorial yesterday. It actually doesn't look bad. Now the main thing that's stopping me from importing it is that the key sites for you know, the Switch eShop codes, they've jacked up the price tremendously, even though I think the yen is actually recovering a little bit compared to the dollar, but the sites have caught on. It's going to cost like $70 for that game. That's why I got the slime game instead. The slime game was cheaper. Because like apparently the Switch version, if you have a modded Switch, you can like dump the English patch. You can put it on you can mod in the English like already. But the price was prohibitively expensive. I haven't really seen anybody putting up any high-level gameplay of it, so I feel like I could probably put out something decent if the game's got any sauce in it, but I checked yesterday, it was going to be like $70 to import it, and it comes out on PC a month from Gundam Breaker 4, so I think that's probably the way, unless there's some Raynatus superfan comes in here and randomly donates $70. I'm sure some people were wondering about that, because I said I was interested in playing it. It actually doesn't look that bad, but got very little footage to go off of. The sites like Play Asia, C Gamer Mall, all those sites have drastically increased the price of their yen cards, even though Japan obviously hasn't recovered from their yen losing value that much. It has recovered a little bit, I think, but not to the extent that they're marking it up. Far from it. So I'm like, I don't know if this game is $70 good. It's kind of pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable. For a while, you could get like 8,000 yen games for like $50, which is a pretty good price. But now it's gone up. It's like, that game is like AAA price to import, basically. I think it's done by the same team that did Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes, so you know I really like that game. I think that game is heavily underrated. It's a pretty good and unique action game, even if you're not into Kamen Rider. I mean, if you're into Kamen Rider, you get an original story with the characters and all the fan service with the attacks and the forms and stuff, but like, it's actually a legit above average action game. So if it's the same people making that made Raynatus, then I'm interested, but not at that price point. I'm not willing to pay that much. You know, I might do a New Game Plus playthrough on that this coming week. No promises, but that might make a good filler game until Gundam Breaker 4 comes out, because that's 9 days away now. It's coming very soon. Just a week and some change to go. Very excited. I do think the price of that game is way too expensive, though, even when you're not importing it. It's gonna get ripped apart in reviews because of the graphics. The graphics don't match the price. As much as people like to say they want more games that are, worse graphics and took less time and money to make. That whole thing on social media is kind of bullshit, because every time a game comes out that doesn't have like photorealistic graphics, people just complain. But at the same time, I feel like if you're pricing your game that obviously is lower budget, lower graphical fidelity, and not as much content, you're pricing it the same as those games, stuff like Elden Ring and like really high quality games that are packed full of content, then no one's gonna want to buy it. I don't understand why it's priced the way it is. There's plenty of indie games that are highly successful and don't have photorealistic graphics, but they're priced accordingly. Raynatus is like going to be like $60, I think, which is insane price. You can get Neo The World Ends With You for like $20. That game is on sale all the time. That's been a problem with, like, niche Japanese games for, like, the longest time. They think that there's enough weebs out there that will pay, like, $60 for really small games that don't have great graphics, and they also don't have a lot of content either. That's kind of the problem with the slime game as well. If the slime game was $30, I could probably recommend that game. Just for, like, something mindless to play on, like, a weekend or something, you know, it's not bad. There's worse that you can do, but it's $50 base price. You can do a lot better than that game for $50. You can get, like, every Tales game on Steam for that price, including Arise. You can get Arise, Symphonia, Vesperia, and Zestiria and Berseria for, like, that same price. That's a lot more content. I don't understand it, man. It's been proven people don't necessarily always care about having photorealistic graphics, but when you charge the same price as those games that have those graphics, you can't expect there to not be a backlash. That's what makes no sense to me. How much are they charging for Reynatus right now? Let me look. They don't have a price yet. It's probably going to be 60. Well, yeah, Pennyblood got an update recently. Let me see what they added. Ran pretty shitty on Steam Deck, but maybe I'll play it tonight. Let me see. What did they add? It's been like no one talking about this game. Okay, so there's an extra world or biome. New set of weapons for every character. 2 new facilities, so there's more meta progression. Online multiplayer. Huh. Let's see, did they improve performance? Kinda didn't run too hot on Steam Deck. Like hovered around 40 to 50 FPS and fluctuated a lot, so it was kind of disorienting. Maybe we'll try this tonight. I already own it. Maybe we'll try this tonight. It doesn't seem like they did any kind of performance optimization, so it's probably still not great on deck. I'll try it offline tomorrow.